Hello everybody, it is I, your favorite VTuber Android Arrowhead, and I am back with more Ace Attorney for Apollo Justice case for whatever you want to call it. So basically, to describe what's been going on, we are going through the past and the present in order to solve the mystery of basically who framed Phoenix Rabbit. But basically, yeah, to recap. In the past, Phoenix was framed for forging evidence during a trial in which a magician was murdered, which led to his client escaping and just vanishing entirely. Trucy became his daughter. Phoenix befriended the little art girl who forged the thing in the first place. Turns out, her client was, Clavier, who is in the cell and also killed Trucy's father in the present for reasons we don't quite know, but apparently they knew each other. And also, what else? Oh yeah, in the present day, her father has been killed. She's the suspect, but she's definitely not the culprit. As for who is the culprit, technically I think it is also Clavier, since it was murdered by a stamp that he sent her that she didn't use because she was a fan of the thing that was on the stamp. Turns out that stamp was poisoned, and I think that about covers it. Maybe. Also, Trucy's uncle murdered her grandfather, and he's not actually her uncle. Oh yeah, and Trucy and Apollo are siblings. Half siblings, but still. Anyway, that about sums it up. Alright, let's see, Clavier had a bunch of Cyclops, as I remember, so that means he's not really going to be a great option to just go talk to. Well, let's try going here. I need to find out where I needed to go. I kind of forgot. Present day, Sunshine Coliseum. Well, this is a blast from the distant past. Long time no see, Mr. Valent. 7 years has it been? Frankly, I didn't think I'd ever see you again. Actually, I came because there's something I want to ask you. I've spoken to the press. I've nothing more to say. I've spoken to a lot of people myself, and come to some conclusions. But then I realized I needed to hear it from you. Oh, I guess I can talk to him. Hey, Lawbus, don't worry about it. Hey, how you doing? Deeply disturbed and ready to suffer more brain damage. Oh, hey, yeah. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? Alright. Yeah, so I think we're just gonna try talking to him for a bit and see if this gives any kind of clue. Yeah. What happened with Magnify? I have walked a difficult road these past 7 years. Because you couldn't perform Magnify's repertoire? Do not be deceived. Violent skill is the real deal. I did not require my mentor's hand-me-downs. No, it was my partner who slowed me on my way. Zach Gramarye. His rather well-performed disappearing act 7 years ago was the end. Or so I thought. Zach Gramarye murdered our mentor and fled to escape punishment for his crime. You said something to that effect 7 years ago, didn't you? I remember it as if it were only yesterday. Yeah. As if 'twere only yesterday. Okay, yeah. Did you get caught off guard that badly? That was certainly a greeting of all the greetings. Yeah, not gonna lie. I was a little late starting this, and my brain is semi-functional. It'll just give it a sec. It'll warm up. It's like a car, you know. You gotta start the engine a little bit before it like warms up, and then the engine unfreezes. But yeah. That's how it works. Yet that was not the way of it in the end. For while he vanished, the suspicions upon my own person never did. His partner Zach vanished to protect him. That's what those thieving magpies of a press said. In fairness, Valent did probably kill the guy. You take like 20 minutes before starting, so it's like 7 to 10 minutes ain't bad. 20 minutes is pretty rare for me. Usually it's around 7 or 10 from when the stated start time is. But yeah, this was a little later than I expected. A couple instances being 25 to 30 minutes late. That's a lot rarer. But yeah, that's, that'll happen when there's usually some kind of technical error, and it's like, oh, fuck, I need to fix this. There was one time where I think I was trying to play Cyberpunk 2077. I was playing the DLC, I believe. And the DLC, even though the game started just fine, had an update just as I was starting the stream, which led to me having to download like a 30-minute update right before I was meant to start. There were so many instances during that where I'm like, I can say without delaying it, I'm fine, it's good, I don't have to delay it. And then I had to loop back to, no, wait, it's taking too long, I need to delay it. It's a whole thing. But, yep.
That's what those thieving magpies of a press said.
I had no idea.
Yet that very same press comes to me now, feigning interest. They cover the greatest magic show in history as if it were a vaudevillain distraction. And here I must stand, smiling at them all. What am I, if not a player in some fiendish farce?
Might I suggest because you never made it clear what happened? Magnafy's death is still a mystery to this day. Which is why I came here to get the answer from you. Ah. One of these, huh? Wasn't a full system update. That shit would have taken even longer. Yeah, those are terrible. When they come out of nowhere, and it's... Or not really nowhere, it's more just I forget to do it, and then that's on me at that point. But yeah, sometimes I forget to check things before I get it done. Like, imagine if one of the cords had broken during the stream and that was like, oh, oh yeah, that would suck. Equipment maintenance, I do need to probably keep up with a bit more. Ironic, given that I'm, you know, also a machine, but, well, yeah, I need to do that more. I knew I'd be seeing these sooner or later.
The audience has no business stepping upon the stage. They must be content to sit and stare at the spotlight.
Okay, don't actually stare at a spotlight though, because that'll hurt your eyes. That may blind you if you do it too long. That sounds an awful lot like something I heard 7 years ago.
Magatama!
Magnafy's death. Okay. Finally get some answers on this.
Ask what you will, you'll get nothing from me.
I'm as much a part of this affair as you are now. I have to know what happened.
For 7 long years I have endured.
An android can't do self-repair. I guess you're also a practitioner in self-harm. I think it's more that, well, it's like, you know how in Metal Gear Rising, Raiden, they were like, we stuffed you full of the best combat stuff, but you can't self-repair. It's like that. I'm built for combat, which is exactly why I'm so bad at comedy and playing games. That's the story I'm going for.
Now, finally, the curtain lifts on a new golden age. All the miracles of our troop within my grasp.
Sorry to do this, Valant. But right now, I need answers. I think I'll start by dropping a bomb. That should shake things up. It's a very bad joke I was about to make. Anyway, Valant, I wouldn't be so sure about those miracles. Not as long as I have this. Oh, is it like the... I think it's this.
And what might that be?
I see it bears the Gramarye seal. I should have brought this to your attention sooner. But I didn't imagine you'd be planning your comeback quite so fast.
What is this?
A document showing the true recipient of the performance rights to Magnafy's miracles.
What? Zack Gramarye? He wrote this? What? He passed everything to his daughter?
Trucy Enigmar. Actually, she's officially my daughter these days.
Preposterous! Zack is gone! Vanished into the void!
This is the genuine article. Zack was alive when he wrote this. I cut one of my fingernails a few days ago. Oh, yeah, that sucks. There was a time when I pulled a nail while I was, like, basically, like, moving, essentially, and I was, like, lugging a giant box around, and, like, I set it down in a way where it landed on the nail and just like tore it, and it was, oh fuck! And that's why now you'll see my body with no fingernails. I've got none of them. No problems anymore. Look at any art with my hands in it, no fingernails. It's all good. Granted, it's very difficult to open things that need you to like peel stuff, but I'll figure something out. I say, well, I know, I'm always so careful when saying it because it's like same thing with the Riddler, where you know, it's even worse with the Riddler just because you don't have the E right in front of the last name unless you just like initial his first name. So I'm not gonna say it because it's a little too close for comfort, but yeah. Zack was alive when he wrote this. Both myself and the notary can testify to this. Ugh. Okay, good. I broke one of them.
Why? Why does fate toy with me so? Why must my life be lived in thrall to the dead?
You're not the only one with that problem.
But he shot Magnify! Yes, it was Zack! It was! And then he left, and my career as a magician fell into darkness.
Did you think there might be some way out of it? Say, if you could prove Zack Gramarye shot Magnify? Was that why you testified?
Yes! My way out! It should have been my way out!
Brother, I remember one time I dropped a hoverboard on my foot and almost broke it. Oh, that's gotta suck. I never rode one of those hoverboard things, but I have heard that they do hurt to get hit by. Kinda like one of those razor scooters. Well, it might not be too late, Mr. Valent. All you need is a way to prove your case. Who really killed Magnify Gramarye? I believe I have the answer to your prayers right here. Zack Gramarye wrote one more thing before passing on.
But this is a confession!
In which he admits to the killing of Magnify Gramarye. See? All according to your plan.
I am a magician by trade. Deception is my life's work. I fool the audience, give them a fleeting dream. Yet, seems the tables have turned. Now I am the audience, believing in the deceptions I have wrought upon myself.
Zack wrote this right in front of me. After I explained your situation to him...
Alakazam!
No, a scooter's like getting hit with a blunt knife. A hoverboard is like having a weighted aluminum baseball bat slammed down you. Oh, that's gotta suck. Oh, that sounds awful. Sorry to hear that. Now we get the truth. We should hit this guy with the hoverboard.
You do know that this confession is nothing but lies.
Yes. It's my opinion that Zack Gramarye killed no one.
Then you must be thinking the truth is a simple matter of elimination. Two received instructions to kill, but if one is innocent, then the one who remains is guilty.
That would be the logical conclusion, yes.
So he vanished to protect me, his partner. A stirring tale, 'tis true.
Hoverboards are motorized too, so technically speaking I got ran over by one. I guess that is, yeah, unfortunately that is... Yeah, hey, you survived. You got run over and you lived. That's a story you can tell. Did you shoot Magnify Gramarye in the forehead?
If I had, and I told you, what would you do? Run to the police, perchance? Do as you will. There is nothing left for me now. It is true, after all. I have little talent. I needed my mentor Magnify's repertoire. It was as if a little demon grabbed hold of me. I knew it.
So Valent Gramarye did kill the great Magnify. If on a future father story to tell, oh yeah, I'd be like, oh yeah, I got run over once.
Oh, so sorry, Mr. Wright. But it was not I who shot my mentor.
What? But if it wasn't you, then who was it? There wasn't another disciple, was there?
Another disciple, such as?
I don't know. Knack and Talent Grammary, maybe? Oh, instead of Zack and Valen, it's Knack and... Okay. Maybe that was the joke the whole time.
Your wild fancies couldn't be further from the truth. What kind of names are Knack and Talent? Only Zack and Valen received those threatening letters.
Why do you talk about yourself in third person, dude?
But there was another. One more person could have fired that pistol that night. I don't suppose you figured it out by now.
Clavier? Was it Clavier again? We're talking to a performer. What's an artist that you would have never heard of if it wasn't for one of their projects, suddenly getting popular compared to other stuff? Off the top of my head... Let me think. What do I got? I guess Hololive, technically, if we're talking, like, artists, because I wouldn't even have heard of Hololive if I hadn't just stumbled upon a random meme video, like, at this point, 5 or 6 years ago. So Valen isn't weird, but Talent is. I realize Valent's also not a name, but, like... Yeah, no, you got me there. You got me there. But yeah, Hololive stuff, I didn't really, I think I stumbled upon that through, like, a meme video approximately 6 years ago. And I was like, whoa, this is pretty funny. And then I saw a bunch of Hololive stuff, so there's that. Other than that, what other stuff would I have heard of? An artist I haven't stumbled upon, if not for one of their things getting popular. Obviously, there's, like, various anime series that I hadn't heard of the author before, but then I heard of them, and then it's like, oh, that's pretty cool. But in terms of, like, music artists, let me think. I guess K-pop Demon Hunters, in a way. Like, I don't think I would have watched K-pop Demon Hunters normally, but then it got popular, and I was like, okay, well, I might as well check it out. And, I thought it was pretty good. Not, like, I'm not as obsessed with it as some people are, but yeah, it's pretty good. If it wasn't Zack or Valen who shot Magnifi, then his daughter? And it had to be the only other person at the scene, so the nurse? Then it had to be the only other person at the scene, which means... Wait. You don't mean...
Yes. The great Magnifi Grammary himself. Oh. The great Magnifi Grammary himself.
So wait, if it was a suicide, then why did you even bother trying to hide that? So Magnifi Grammary committed suicide?
You find it hard to believe?
And to be honest, I hadn't even imagined it as a possibility.
When I arrived that night, the old man was still alive.
Mostly the community for that movie is fucking dog shit, but I wouldn't say that makes the film bad. Only one of the songs in the film that's putting my face. I like Idol, personally. I thought that one was pretty good. I mean, honestly, I don't think any of the songs are bad. But, yeah, I think the one I would say is probably one of the better songs in it is Idol. It's just kind of haunting, you know?
When I arrived that night, the old man was still alive. He appeared to be asleep. I could not shoot him. But when I turned and made to leave the room, the old man called out to me.
So you spoke with Magnifi Grammary?
Yes, and this is why I knew what he had done. Magnifi transferred the rights to his repertoire to my partner, Zack Grammary, not me.
I see. And I guess I owe you an apology. I always thought you were the one who did it.
You owe me no apology. My crime was, in a way, more serious than that of murder. Plagiarism!
Mainly because people will defend the song Golden with their lives. To me, it's a mediocre song that needs context to be good at all. Yeah, I don't think it's bad, but at the same time, it's like... I think it works. I think what you said is true. It works in the context of the movie, but I don't think I would really listen to it much outside of that. And I've seen it in the commercials for the Olympics. They made fucking bank off of that song. They actually made probably gold or whatever. Remember when I got threats because I said Golden was a bad song, according to your taste, because that was somehow offensive. Yeah, people will be like that sometimes. It's just, yeah, people tend to get very attached to things that they like. I'm not really different in that regard, but I don't think I would, like, threaten someone over it. What? Your crime? Is Valiant Gramarye confessing something to me? What could be more serious than murder? You see, I knew that 2 letters had been sent. There are no secrets between partners. It was easy to find out. That was when I understood Magnafy's plan. You wanted to die by one of your hands? Little did I expect it had anything to do with the rights to his repertoire. That was when I heard it. A little demon whispering inside my heart. The demon? Let me confess. I had intended to shoot Magnafy. And I planned on framing my partner for the crime. What? That night, I prepared something before going to Magnafy's hospital room. I don't find myself getting too attached to anything that isn't a person, which too much wants me to make me a villain. I kinda get that, yeah. I mean, I don't get that attached to things, but I do understand, you know, liking something or something resonating with you enough to the point where you kinda, you know, you feel for it. Mainly because I'm on neither side in most community arguments unless it has a logical answer. I get that, that's a good way to, honestly, that's probably a good way to live your life. Just not get too emotionally involved in a lot of internet arguments. In fact, you know what? I commend you for that. That sounds like a good way to go about things. That night I prepared something before going to Magnafy's hospital room. Which was? IV fluid, of course. I'd seen it on an earlier visit. If Zack did not shoot, I would do the deed. Then I would use the IV liquid to place the murder on his hands. That was my plan. But you didn't shoot him. I could not. The demon in my heart fled when the moment came. Then Magnafy called me back. I know someone who gets my line of thinking. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone could convince me that getting involved in internet arguments is the way to go about life. So, yeah. I am sorry, Valant. I'm giving my magic to Zack. Not you. You still lack the draw he has. Please, help him if you can. I always get confused by my lack of emotional attachments to most things, despite my emotional attachment being based on logic. I get it. I mean, yeah, there are obvious situations where, you know, you may want people to be a little more emotional, but I'd say generally, you want arguments to be fueled more for logic than it is for emotional reasons. Unless emotional reasons make a better story, at which point, go for that, I guess, but yeah. I left the room, and then I stopped. The shock of what I had just been told consumed me. Ah. That is when I heard that fateful gunshot. Magnafy Gramarye killing himself? Then the demon awoke within me. Zack killed him. He was the one. Ah. Okay, that makes more sense. Frame him and the magic will be yours. I altered the scene of his suicide. I took the pistol from his hand, wiped off the prints, and then I used the syringe to add the IV liquid I'd brought. Intended arguments are like putting 2 of the same car tethered together and flooring it. You're gonna stall out because it's getting nowhere. Or one car is gonna break and the other one's gonna, like, speed into a wall or something. That's also a possibility. Honestly, there are videos of those, like what you're describing, failing, and I find those really funny. I don't find them often, I will say, but, like, it's one of those where, like, the back axle will just get ripped off of the car, or, like, the wheels will shoot out. it's, you get some funny things happening there. So in the end, things happened pretty much as planned. Magnifi died, and you framed Zack for his murder.
As planned, indeed. Of course, the outcome was somewhat different than I had anticipated. Well, what do you think? Do you believe my story? Can it be believed, truly?
That was 7 years ago. I don't know what to believe. But
Yes?
I'm glad I heard it from you, Mr. Valent. Thank you.
It is I who should be thanking you, Mr. Wright. Only when I had lost everything could I make my decision.
You're going to turn yourself in?
My partner may have vanished, but not so my guilt. And as my guilt stays, all else begins to leave me. My friends, my performance rights, my magic. I've had enough of vanishing acts.
I understand.
I thought my life was ruled by a dead man, but I find I was wrong. But Zack Gremory was alive.
Well, not anymore.
And now it occurs to me, what if he was not the only one who survived?
What do you mean?
You see, now that I think about it, I realize that we never saw proof of her demise.
Okay, so in other words, Lemira might actually be Apollo's mother and Trucy's mother. And they didn't recognize her for some reason. Well, I mean, Apollo probably wouldn't because he was too young. Trucy, I guess it's just been a while for her.
We never saw her body.
Her?
The mind races and the mouth flaps on. My apologies, forget this matter. I can only hope that the day will come when I again meet my partner, Zack Gremory. Then, I shall apologize for my terrible mistake. I'm glad we had this chance to talk. Thank you.
Zack Gremory. J.D. Smith. Whichever name you prefer, he is no longer with us. The truth revealed in that trial was only a sliver, and the impenetrable darkness that remained has taken another life. Remember one time I saw a video of that and someone backed into the other car and like mocked it? Hopefully no one got hurt, but man, that is always funny to see. I knew what I'd have to do to push back the darkness for good, and it would involve paying that man a visit. Okay, so I would go back to Solitary Cell 13, because that's what that kind of implied there, but I also think that may not be the best decision in terms of just, I don't think I got any evidence now that will actually let me get to him. So, J.D. Smith has to be a pun of some sort. I'm pretty sure well, I think the joke is that Smith is a very common name that people just use for, like, hiding themselves. And Shady is, I mean, well, he's shady. That's about it there. Yeah, Drew Studio. Let's go here. Alright, I'm talking to this fucking guy. Alright. Doesn't that make Phoenix also Apollo's adopted father? Technically no, because Apollo was adopted or something, or he was just an orphan. But I don't think... Well, I guess technically you could argue he kind of is, but like... I think Apollo does have a different family, maybe? It's kind of unclear. He never really brings it up. So... I don't know. Technically you could argue Phoenix probably is, but like, they're half-siblings. Not sure that's really going to come up much after this, but... I am curious though how they're going to react to that. We'll see. Anyway. Oh, fuck, I already asked about all this, huh? Oh, right. Okay, so I asked about this to get the picture to go do the other thing, and I never really asked about the rest of this. It was tragic what happened to Drew Misham and his daughter. Forgery's a serious crime, and they paid the price. You don't really did them in know, don't you? Yes, a forged diary page. I'm gonna raise a criminal named John Smith in the ultimate unrecognizable name. What's the perp's name? John Smith. Do we don't know his name? No, we do. His name is John Smith. Okay, but what's his name? John Smith! John Smith. Yes. Forged diary page. The night I interviewed him, I found out something about Mr. Misham I hadn't known. What's that? You know, he always felt like he was being watched. Every day for 7 years, walls of ears, potatoes of eyes, end quote. Potatoes of eye. Oh yeah, okay, I know what that means, yeah. That whole, like, the way they kind of, like, the little spud things, the root, whatever is growing off of them. Tubers, that was it, they're the tubes, yeah. Being watched, you mean he felt guilty? No, I'm not talking about feelings here. You know, I felt watched too. The whole time I've been on this case, no less. Journalist gets tingling sensation on the back of neck, freaks out, end quote. I can imagine how weird it would be to be the head of an investigation about your half-sister's magic hippopotamus after this. Oh, that makes it, oh, I didn't even think about that, that's so weird. Maybe they shouldn't tell them. Honestly, that must be, that's gotta be a weird thing to have to deal with afterwards. Hey, Paul, remember that time you found your sister's hippopotamus stuffed into the tailpipe of a car? Yeah. Because you felt guilty? Why would I feel guilty? You felt like you were being watched, huh? I wonder what it all means. Paranoia. The fact Marshall was based off a real person will forever terrify me. Yeah, that's gotta... I'm sure the real life guy does not look like this, but at the same time... I don't know what sort of anger Shu Takumi would have prompted to create this as a character. Drew Misham felt like he was being watched. And you along with him. You sure it wasn't just nerves? Nerves? No, it's nothing so mundane. I stopped paying attention to my nerves a long time ago. But I felt it too! Journalist sure he's being watched, end quote. Don't you wonder why Zach Grammar got rubbed out after 7 years? Right after coming into contact with me? He completely vanishes from that courtroom. Then, for 7 years, he talks to no one, not a soul. Then, just as the remaining time was almost up, he contacts me in order to have this made. And then, he dies. Onto that. Oh yeah, remember how cool you looked when you arrested the college student who stole them for his horny tendencies? That was awesome. Yeah, that... Oh, God, that's such a... That case is so weird, like, already. And adding into the fact that they're actually siblings... Obviously, they're not, like, into each other, but that does make it a little extra weird, you know? That explanation should be enough of a signal to keep that shit in the wraps. Yeah. Maybe, you know what? Maybe don't tell them. Maybe leave that up in the air. And then... he dies. Starting to put the pieces together, are we? And you were being watched this whole time? Maybe not just me. Maybe you were too. Me? Maybe I was too. Do I have anything showing that I was being watched? I don't think so. Oh, whatever. All this information makes everything so much worse. In that regard, yeah, it's not like they ever did anything, like, incestuous, but it does add on to the strangeness of the situation. Down. Zach Grammary, Valent Grammary, you. I met Zach through that case, actually. You mean the shooting of Magnifi Grammary? No, before that. It's not widely known. You mean the accident? During the quick draw shooting practice? My, you're well informed. You should have seen me back then. I dug up quite the scoop. I wanted it all. Money, fame, women, a little puppy. All for me. I was younger then, and my days and nights smelled the fresher mint than they do now. We were never turned into the coffin of Andy and Laylee, so it's all well, I don't know what that means, but I vaguely am curious as to what that could possibly mean. Two wholesome crime fighters. Yeah, basically. One of them's a magician, the other one's a lawyer. Together they solve crimes. Amazing. Just like Phoenix and his little spirit medium friend. Where is Maya, actually? What's she? I guess she's probably just back in her village, but... yeah, whatever. We'll see her again at some point, I bet. Valent Gramarye did mention one particularly nosy reporter. In fact, I was on close speaking terms with Magnifi Gramarye at the time. I knew his daughter, too, of course. Thalassa, was it? Really? And Thalassa disappeared. Quite suddenly, at that. And Magnifi wouldn't say a word about it. Yeah, my evil habit got the better of me. Journalist catches scent of a scoop, goes on feeding frenzy. End quote. I set up a one-on-one interview with Thalassa's husband, see? Zach Gramarye. Something strange was in the air over at Troop Gramarye in those days. There's a... Oh, wait, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I think I've heard of that. There's a scene in the game where they openly discuss having sex with siblings several times, in fact. Oh, God. If I remember correctly, it's one of their main plot points about their relationship as siblings is toxic as fuck. I would hope it's portrayed in a negative light, yeah. Nah. Whoa. But incest aside, the whole screwy mentor-controlling disciple scene he'd started by then, I'm guessing. Thalassa, she was part of it all, right? Come on, you can tell me, off the record. Sorry, I don't know. Anyway, I kept trying and eventually became friends with Zach. Sure, he punched me once or twice, or 5 times. But over time, he came to see me as his confidant. What about Valent? He's been waiting this whole time. 7 years, eh? Waiting? For his big comeback, of course. A big revival of the Magnifi Miracle. Of course it was all a dream. Because of this. The performance rights. In the absence of any official documents, he was golden. Who's to say the old man didn't give his rights to both Zach and Valent? So Valent waited until Zach died. Legally, at least. The time finally comes, and Valent's like a kid on Christmas morning. He's getting ready for his show at the Sunshine Coliseum, you know? Well, he was, and now he's going to turn himself in for the crime he was going to commit. If that document sees the light of day, it's going to put a bit of a damper on the big show. He's a sorry one, that Valent Gramarye. Lost out to his partner at work, and in love, too. Love? It's the same old story, really. 2 disciples and their mentor's only daughter. What has 3 sides and all of them pointy? A pufferfish. No. A love triangle. That is pretty classic. When you're in a performing troupe, that's your world. It's like family. And the incest comes back. One with an entire high school's worth of drama, intrigue, and backstabbing. And in the middle of all this is Thalassa has Trucy. And then she dies. I need to find out more about this Thalassa. People and events all get tangled together and get bigger and bigger. Don't you think? I was too busy wondering about bigger to listen to what you were saying. Sometimes you just gotta accept that you won't be able to untangle it all, I think. Maybe so, but still, I have to do what I can. And I have to tell what I find to those who come next. Next, you say? I'm not the one who will close the curtain on this little play. Apparently, that's not my role anymore. Until next game. Magnifi? I was just wondering what Magnifi would think of all this. What do you mean? Haven't you seen it in Trucy? He's got his power. Okay, we've already been over this. I probably should have done this part first. You mean how I can't lie to Trucy? It was the same with Magnifi. And with his daughter, Thalassa. Apparently Brushel is based off Shiitake, who often had an unhygienic, unsettling appearance. Seriously negatively. In that case, they wanted to make this hyperbolization of them. Yeah, I kind of get that. The whole thing with the toothbrush, I think, is the worst part of all this. I don't know why, but him brushing his tongue is just kind of putting me off. It's a strange thing. It's a strange thing. I think it's some Gramarye gene. Magnifi told me once back when Zack married Thalassa. He said Zack had good eyes, but not like good like a Gramarye's eyes. Not that good. I wonder if Zack ever played a game with poker with his wife. Who knows what the Gramarye secret was? Maybe nobody now that Zack's gone. Zack Gramarye. Oh wow, there was not a lot to do here. Also, when it's shaded like this, his 5 o'clock shadow basically goes away, and now he looks even weirder without it. Look at him. Look at his face. It's like when you remove the 5 o'clock shadow from Homer Simpson. The plot had finally begun to reveal itself. It sprouted from a warp in the Gramarye fabric, and grew, swallowing everything. Wrapping itself around the Gramarye's power. A power which passed from Magnifi Gramarye to Thalassa a power which passed from Magnifi Gramarye to Thalassa to the next generation. And I would once again need to meet the one who bridged it all together. Unfortunately, Phoenix, I already took care of that whole thing. I probably should have waited, but now there is only one left. I think, right? Yes. Gotta get back to the present, samurai present. Fuck it, let's just go. Sorry, sir. President Christoph Gavin is currently occupied. No, Clavier is the other one. I kept saying Clavier and I meant Christoph. Fuck. Alright, well, Christoph, yeah. I see. You know when it'll be finished? Well... Could you go find out? Certainly, sir. Please wait here a moment. My apologies to the guard, but there's something I need to see. The letter. What's in the letter? Apparently it was also because he faced heavy backlash for this game in particular, because he wanted to end the series prematurely with this game. You can imagine fans weren't happy with this. Yeah, I had heard that he kind of meant this one to be the last one, but then obviously, you know... I feel like, especially ending it on a game in which Phoenix is, like, kind of on the outs as far as being a lawyer goes, is, yeah, I don't know. I think if he wanted to end it with any of them, the third one probably would have been the best one, but, you know. Here it is, the yellow envelope. And the sender is True Mishim. I was right! Look at him without the 5 o'clock shadow. Look at him. Fans mostly criticized the terrible directive decision and focused on his shitty amount of incompetence as an author. I mean, I think he's done a good job as far as the other games are concerned. I don't even think this game is bad. But, like, I do agree in the sense that, like, as an ending for the series, I don't think this game would have done it. Especially because, like, you know... The third game, I'm not sure if you were around when I played that, but basically the end of the third one is basically like Phoenix coming into his own as a lawyer. You know, he no longer really, like, it closes up kind of like some plot threads from the earlier games, and it just kind of, it wraps up stuff in a pretty nice bow all around. I think it went really well. Then you find out in this one that a few months after that wraps up, he loses his badge entirely and spends the next 7 years as a hobo, kinda. Not homeless, mind you, just kind of like a himbo, hobo, whatever you want to call it. It is a little saddening, for the most part. I don't think he's a bad author. I do, however, think that, considering the games that come after this, I'm glad the series hasn't ended because of how much cool stuff was produced later on. I have heard that later games are also pretty cool. I've heard the DLC case for the 5th game, which we'll get to eventually, obviously. I've heard that one was really, really good. So we'll get there. Like, the medieval era Ace Attorney games have some of the best character soundtracks. I've heard that Great Ace Attorney is really, really good. Yeah. Very eager to get to Great Ace Attorney. And Investigations. I've heard Investigations 2 is one of the best games in the franchise. When I arrived at the studio, Mr. Misham was at his desk. He seemed to be writing a letter, but he quickly sealed the envelope. Yup, it was the yellow envelope. It was left at the crime scene. It wasn't. This is the last letter that Drew Misham wrote, and there's something I need to do. The last thing I need to do, in fact. Here goes. Let's see if this atroquin spray finds anything. Oh! It was the stamp! So this was Drew Misham's messenger of death. It was this stamp, all right. No mistaking it. And his last letter was sent to Christoph Gavin. The interview request came like you said it would, and they're looking into the case. I swear in my life I won't tell them about you. So please, release the spell you've put on my daughter. I'll write later with a report. Gotcha. Letter from Misham added to the court record. Technically, I think this evidence is obtained illegally, but finally, decisive evidence. What's this? A burglar in jail? Gavin! I didn't know you moonlighted in larceny, right? Gavin, there's something I have to ask you. Can I steal your stuff? The answer is no. My apologies, but there's not much I care to discuss. Vera Misham hasn't received her verdict yet. Follow me, Gavin? There are no known survivors of the atroquin poisoning, but it never hurts to hope. Okay, I'll be leaving now then. Right, wait. Yeah, Gavin? Yeah, Gavin? Would you mind leaving that letter? It's private. Oh, sorry. Forgot I had it. Many thanks. Oh? There's a camera in the hat! My god! What a play! We've now seen all the clues in this case. Clues I gathered over 7 long years. Now, it is time. Every story has an ending. We've come to the final chapter, the final trial. Find the truth. You're the only ones who can. God damn. Alright, I think at this point, if this is going the way I think it is, I can theoretically wrap up this game in the next 2 streams, including this one. Yes, here. Complete. After some quick searching, I know that the Ace Attorney series has come far before Danganronpa. Oh yeah, like a very long time. Yeah. I think in fact Danganronpa specifically was inspired a bit by Ace Attorney. As far as that goes, I think. Don't quote me on that, I'm pretty sure that's true. Welcome to court. 7 years, all leading to one verdict. A verdict which you must decide. Is the defendant Vera Misham innocent or guilty? The courtroom doors are opening. The trial awaits. Are you ready to begin? Court number 3, preparations complete. Alright. This tournament was started not too long after your debut. It was... Oh yeah, me playing it, yeah. Definitely. Originally, I had intended to play, like, Danganronpa 1 in between its turning 1 and 2, because I was like, oh yeah, Danganronpa 1, that's like... That'll be what, like 6 streams? Then it'll be done, and it'll be quick. I was wrong. Something important lost long ago. Something that's close. Fuck, I didn't read that, because I was focused on the comment. But yeah, actually, wait. History? Something inside me. Rising. Surfacing. Something important. Lost long ago. It's close now. So close. But yeah, I did start Ace Attorney not long after I started streaming, so I was like, oh hey, I think this will be fun to stream. I did that for, I'm still doing that, technically. Then there was Danganronpa, which I played in between the first, I started in between the first and second, then I just decided, like, okay, Danganronpa, I'm just gonna alternate between that and Ace Attorney, because it's just a good kind of back and forth sort of thing, you know? October 9th, 10 o'clock a.m. District Court, District Court, Courtroom number 3. Those lines scream homosexuality to me. Maybe that's the real twist. The killer wasn't a murderer, he was just gay. He didn't kill, he slayed. Court is now in session for the trial of Vera Misham. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution's ready to rock. Prosecutor Gavin, how is the defendant Vera Misham's condition? Acute atroquinine poisoning, according to her physician. She could die at any time. Thus, her absence from the courtroom today...
What? You can't put her on trial without her being here.
It is unusual.
They should wait for her to get better and do it then. It's so bureaucratic of them.
That's being a little harsh. They can't delay the trial any longer, or they risk having no one left to try. A trial without a verdict can only cause grief. The records of this case and experience tell us this. Apologies to the defendant, but the show must go on. Right. If Vera dies, the trial will be cancelled. I'm not going to let that happen. Mr. Wright told me everything that's been going on behind the curtain all these years. I'm going to get Vera her innocent verdict while there's still time. Very well. Your opening statement, Prosecutor Gavin. The prosecution's case is unchanged by recent events. Why did Vera Misham succumb to poison? Because she couldn't live with the guilt of what she'd done. But Vera was poisoned with atroquinine. The exact same poison that took her father's life. What better confession could you ask for? Being the killer, she would have had access to the poison. Significant since it's rather hard to come by. That is true. In other words, I see no need for further discussion. We could have had our verdict yesterday. Well, Mr. Justice, if you have no objections, I see no reason to postpone a verdict. What we need to worry about isn't the verdict, but the trial itself. The defense holds that Vera Misham is the victim, not the killer. If that's so, then you have to prove something. She was in court giving her testimony before us. She bit her fingernail, she did her nail polish with the bottle. How do you propose her killer poisoned her? Oh, and incidentally, it would be nice if you told us who her mystery killer was. I can tell you both of these things right now. The prosecution's objection is sustained. I ask the defense to prove its claims to this court. Tell us how Vera Misham was poisoned. Got two things to prove here. Who did it and how? Yep. How? No, hey! Controller, stop. How? How did the killer poison Vera Misham? I will focus first on the method used. I found only like 4 MVs with animated captions total. Yeah, I feel like doing the animated captions or subtitles is like a dying art as far as music videos are concerned. I miss stuff like that. They used to be cool. Any comments before we begin, Prosecutor Gavin? Not a bottle or container of the poison was found on the defendant's body. I see, so the vector of poisoning is unknown. Is the defense prepared to prove how the poison reached Vera Misham? Yes, Your Honor. Very well. What method was used to poison Vera Misham? Because she bit her nails right before she passed out. It showed that in a little flashback. So if she did that in this, and then she got, I mean, that's basically it. She bit her nails after she did her nails, and then, yeah. What's this? My, what a beautiful bottle. I'd like to give whoever designed that a hand. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Is that nail polish? It's colorless. Ah! Something the matter? No, nothing. Nothing at all. So the killer put poison in this bottle and made her drink it? As Prosecutor Gavin has told us, this is nail polish. Nail polish? It's like paint for nails. You know anyone with red nails? Ah, my wife has red nails! I see, so she's been painting them all this time. I didn't realize he was married, huh. Let's recall yesterday's trial. Clive knows like something else. They were my hands! No, you're right, I forgot. I've got a massive ass right in front of me to clap whenever I need to clap things. Remember when Vera was testifying to the court? Court is now back in session. Vera seems pretty tense. She's practically chewing her fingernails clean off. Obviously this stupid as a judge. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't think it was possible to not know what nail polish is. Obviously, I don't do my nails, given that I, as I established earlier, have no nails. But like, how do you not know what that is? It's just a normal thing to know about. Well, you said looks like all I know is that could have been anything, even another person. You know what, you're right, I've got the clapping guy next to me. He very rarely has to clap, but whenever I have him clap, he just goes like, you know. And then, yeah, he's done. Whenever Vera became nervous, she had a habit of biting her nails. Her nails? Ah! Prosecutor Gavin? When the prosecution had Vera examined, did they check her nails? Bailiff, have them check the defendant's nails at once. Mr. Justice. Yes? Do you know who did this? Do you know who put poison in that nail polish? Yes. That bottle belongs to Vera Misham? Why do you ask? Know someone else who might have a bottle like this? No, just checking. Mr. Justice, you're about to accuse someone of poisoning that bottle of nail polish. Please dispense with the chatter. You realize the weight of the accusation? Here, let me show you. I will take 2 of your bars. I understood, Your Honor. No problem. I know what I'm doing this time. And let us ask, who poisoned Vera Misham via her nail polish? Oh. I thought I'd have to scroll for it. It's just right here. Alright. What's this? Christoph Gavin? What's your game? My bro. There's no way he could do a thing like that. Your bro went down for murder. He's already proven he can kill people. What do you mean he couldn't? You should know that better than anyone else. Indeed. He is behind bars. I know. However, it doesn't mean it was impossible to do what he did. What? Ask yourselves when he put the poison in the bottle. It could have been yesterday. Could have been a month ago. Maybe it was a year ago. Or perhaps it was 7 years ago. But Christoph Gavin had no motive for killing this poor girl. It's simply inconceivable.
Prosecutor Gavin doesn't seem to think so.
Bro is sweating milk. He's like an android from Aliens.
That face tells me one thing. Christoph Gavin's own younger brother doesn't find it inconceivable at all.
Well, Prosecutor Gavin, if you feel there is a clear and pressing need, then we may have to summon Christoph Gavin from jail as a special witness.
Fine. I've known for some time that an impenetrable darkness lurked at the bottom of this. A darkness that had swallowed even myself. Okay. The defense's wish is granted. Let prisoner Christoph Gavin take a stand.
Bailiff, begin proceedings to call a special witness. The witness is Christoph Gavin, currently residing in solitary cell 13 at Central Prison.
Ah, Your Honor. How nice to see you again.
It's been quite a while, hasn't it?
To what do I owe the pleasure of your company?
It's not every day I'm summoned from my solitary cell. In fact, it's never.
I think you already know, Mr. Christoph Gavin.
Ah, Mr. Justice. I hear you've been doing quite well for yourself.
Yuck. Why do I feel like somehow he's still my boss? Stiff upper lip, Apollo. You can do it. Does this bottle look familiar?
Ariadne nail polish? Why yes, I use it myself. As did the late defendant, I hear.
Late implies that she's dead, but she's not. She's not dead yet!
And?
Was there something concerning this bottle you wish to ask me about?
I admit I respect her for her taste in nail polish.
Her taste, indeed. The nail polish was how Vera Misham was poisoned.
Atroquinine, was it? You're well informed about the case, Mr. Gavin.
I like to think that Christoph always had to switch between his prison uniform and his court suit specifically for the audience. That's the thing, he was wearing his court suit in prison, so they clearly just let him have whatever he wants. Especially based on the, like, the bookcase and the chair. He's got a lot of stuff in there.
You're well informed about the case, Mr. Gavin. Even in solitary, much comes to my desk, and I have nothing to do but read. Well, Clavier? Maybe you can explain this.
You're being accused again.
By him. Again. And? You agree with his accusation, don't you?
Clavier, this is your point to be a good person. Clavier, honestly, is... So far, he's one of the least, like, mean prosecutors in the series. He seems like a decent guy, for the most part. Even when against his friend in the last trial. In the last case.
Well, let's hold a proper trial, shall we? Christoph Gavin, your testimony, please.
Considering this is just Japanese LA, I'm having trouble with laws to consider most accurate to the situation if it applied IRL. Honestly, yeah, there's a bit of difficulty with that, because apparently the death penalty is, like, banned in Japan for the most part, outside of, like, very extreme cases. But they do mention in another game that 2 different characters were executed for having committed murder. So, I mean, the laws, as it pertains to, like, punishments in this are a little unclear, but I don't think we need to know that. It's Ace Attorney, it's not Ace Bailiff, or Ace, Prison Warden.
I'd be delighted. The charges against you are quite severe, Mr. Gavin. You are suspected of the poisoning of the defendant, Vera Misham. Please testify on this matter to the court.
Witness testimony. Poisoning Vera.
Owning the same nail polish does not a murderer make. I have been in solitary confinement for half a year. How could I poison her? Her father died of the same poison, the meaning of which should be clear. The prosecution's case holds. She poisoned her father, then attempted to poison herself. Surely you aren't going to suggest that I was responsible for poisoning her father, too. Well, I'm afraid the defense's claim is sounding rather unlikely. Naturally. For one, I don't even know the Mishams. Isn't that so, Mr. Justice? Very well. Mr. Justice, begin your cross-examination. I'm accusing Christoph Gavin, my ex-boss. But I know he poisoned the Mishams. The question is, when could he have done it? Not to mention, why? Owning the same nail polish. Oh wait, I can use the bangle on this guy. Potentially. Let's perceive him on this. I feel like the glasses is gonna be a trick. Let's see, maybe there's another... Oh, wait! Maybe it's something to do with this scar? Oh, there it is! Gotcha! What the fuck is that? Also, I like how you can see how crazy his eyes look when you zoom in. It was you who killed Drew Misham. A bluff worthy of your new mentor, Mr. Wright. Oh, really? But you see, I saw it. Right when you said her father, too. Your hand tensed unnaturally, and the little devil appeared to give me the news. And let's assume, for the sake of argument, that you saw me being tense. What does that mean? Are all tense witnesses guilty? And tell me, was Drew Misham fond of nail polish, too? Sorry, but there's more than one way to poison a man. You don't need nail polish to get to someone's mouth. Ah. Then I must be very talented indeed. You see, Drew Misham was killed on October 6th, while I was already in my solitary confinement cell at Central Prison. If that's not an alibi, then I don't know what is. But you found a way all the same. And I found it too. This is how you poisoned Mr. Misham. Okay, so I think I fucked up. And here I thought you'd come so far. Okay, so it's actually the post-it, or the stamp. Huh? I admire how you, lacking any confidence whatsoever, chose to bear along. Your defense lacks even a shred of elegance. But that is kind of what shows it. Max Justice, I've come this far, I must know the answer. How did the killer get to his victim when the killer was in jail? In that case, it's the stamp. It has to be. Okay. I'm sure this commemorative stamp requires no introduction. Oh, he's pissed. Not all smiles anymore, are ya? The night Mr. Misham died, he was seen writing a letter. Atroquinine was found on this stamp, Mr. Gavin. So am I to understand that this stamp was the murder weapon? Yes, you are. Oh, and yes. This stamp was found in your prison cell. Fucking oof, Gavin. Where'd that elegance go now? Yeah, exactly. Not so smug now, are you, dumb bitch?
Not you, Law Bitch. There are other people that I call bitch that aren't you. But yeah, I'm talking about this guy. Fuck this guy. That is all, Your Honor.
Order! 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 Poison on the back of the stamp? On the back of that stamp?
After Drew Mission was killed, someone paid a visit to this witness's cell. Phoenix Wright. Daddy? That's when he found the stamp. You made Drew Mission write you a letter. That's how you killed him.
What?
My. You've upset my poor brother to the point of uselessness. Allow me to clarify this matter, Justice. All you need to do is recall witness Spark Brushell's testimony. Well, that's the thing, see? After he put this letter in that envelope, Mr. Misham sat there searching his desk drawer for something. Whenever my name has been called, it happens a lot, especially when someone says the word 2 times in a row. I get it, yeah. Law bitch! Law bitch! Yeah. His desk drawer? Yep, and then it was stamp. He was looking for a stamp. Ergo, he had no intention of using this stamp. What are you getting at? What I'm arriving at is that this commemorative stamp was in a frame. It was a mere coincidence that he used it that night. That would seem to be the case. Or perhaps you mean to suggest that I can somehow manipulate coincidence.
He does have a point. How would this witness know if the victim was going to use that stamp? Without that, he couldn't have planned the murder.
With what? Really, Clavier? You should be seeing through these weak-spined bluffs by now. He's right, though. How could anyone have known Mr. Mission would use that stamp that night? Least of all, Christoph Gavin locked away in his cell.
Well, it seems that the defense has run out of things to say.
Considering that people have fucking superpowers in this universe, probability manipulation isn't far out of the question. Honestly, yeah, that's a pretty good point. I find the idea that he couldn't do that to be incorrect, to say the least. You assume he had something to say in the first place. I believe the defense's bluff has been called. The defense's bluff? I'm not sure I agree with you there, Christoph. Clavier? Honestly, I wanted to believe you. But the defense wasn't trying to get away with a bluff. You were, Christoph.
What are you saying, Prosecutor Gavin?
Forehead. What was your accusation again? Huh? Oh, it was that... This poison stamp killed Drew Misham, yeah? To which my brother responded thusly. There was no way to know when Misham would use the stamp.
Yes, that's right, which is why it couldn't have been planned.
Tell me, it needs to be planned... Why? Why couldn't it have been a coincidence? The defense's case is simply that Drew Misham died by that stamp. That's all. Coincidence? Christoph, you tried to slip out from under his accusation by changing the subject. If that's not bluffing, what is it? Like, we have people with the ability to control spirits, predict the future with near-perfect accuracy. People who have literally ascended to godhood, telekinesis, literal winning, super strength. Yeah, kinda. I mean, we don't have anyone who can actually fly, but like... Yeah. I see what you mean. Apollo's a fucking empath capable of detecting lies. Yeah, because he sees the tenseness in them. And he has a special metal bracelet that heats up, or that constricts when it heats up. And that tells him when people are lying. Yeah, that's how that works, I think. What are you up to, Clavier? I could ask you the same question, Christoph. I silenced the defense with the fewest words possible. It's called efficiency.
But Mr. Gavin, that's impermissible testimony.
Very well. I shall take his claim head on then. Justice?
What?
You accuse me of Drew Misham's murder, yes? Then allow me to ask you. What possible reason could I have to kill a painter?
Apollo, motive! He's talking about motive!
Indeed. It's hard to see how an attorney could come to want to kill a painter. Now here's something. Why didn't he bring up the motive from the very beginning? Unless he was afraid that it was a battle he might lose.
So what does it mean?
It means there might be a weak spot. Maybe I have some evidence to prove a motive. The power to manipulate probability would honestly be surprising. Honestly, yeah, it kind of wouldn't. Especially with people bringing actual weapons and using them in the courtroom. Yeah, like the whip. That is true. She should have gotten thrown out of court for that.
A motive for murder. This is a vital, if not the most vital element in this case. Please consider this when making your statement.
I think the motive isn't as, vital when it comes to who actually killed the person, but yeah, that's just me. Some people bring whips and shit in here, some people have literal illusion magic, and you're saying probability manipulation out of the question? I feel like the judge constantly forgets that there's been actual magic performed right in front of him. Let's say it's about this vital. That's pretty vital.
Well, Mr. Justice?
I'm going through with this no matter what. Understood, Your Honor. I'd like to present evidence.
Then let's see what you have for us. What reason did Christoph Gavin have for wanting to murder Drew Misham?
Let's see. No. Controller, stop it. 2 sheets of writing paper. What did this say again? Or Chillicum Magnifies. I think that might be it. Or it's this. No clues here. There's an address on here. And a name I've never heard of. At least I think so. It's too blurry to read. David Crimsler. Or not. No, it's... Or is it Drew Misham? I don't think it's Drew. Whatever. Stamp is it's of the Granburys, isn't it? Why did Mr. Wright give me this letter right before this trial? What could it mean? What was the motive? One of the cases he was witness to technically as someone shapeshifted for channeling a dead spirit into the body of a channeled spirit. Yep, exactly. He's probably more or less surprised by someone hasn't brought in the mech by now. Yeah, that would be an amazing one. Just have a guy who's like a mech pilot. That could be fun. I think this is the motive, technically. I need to be very careful with this. Also, oddly enough, I don't think I ever actually had to use this piece of evidence. The magic ticket. Christoph Gavin's motive becomes clear when we consider why the stamp came to Drew Misham's studio in the first place. They literally let a kid who brought a sharp sword to murder trial, and yet probability's too far of a stretch? Actually, wait, now that I think about it, when did the kid of the sword? That was, the... Oh, wait, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I remember that now. Alright. The Silver Samurai kid.
And why is that? Or why was that?
Forgery, Your Honor. Well, we might finish this today. This is going way faster than I thought it would. Go back 7 years. Drew Misham accepts his first job creating forged evidence.
I've seen that before.
A page from a diary, wasn't it? Magnifique Grabmary's diary. Ah, when attorney Phoenix Wright lost his badge, yes. This was the evidence he presented to his loss. This evidence is a fake, yes. But did Mr. Wright request the forgery be made? That was never proven. The defense attorney owns that case was Phoenix Wright, who, other than him, drunk with the prospect of victory, could have done it. Okay, Phoenix, keep his name out of your mouth, would not have needed forged evidence to win. He's fucking Phoenix. 1 hour and a half, considering that was 10 later and starts an hour 20. Yeah, this is going way faster than I thought it would. I also, mind you, I've never played this game before, so I didn't know how much would be left, but I really thought the trial would be going slower than this. And why would they? Just out of curiosity, do you remember this letter? Phoenix is the ace attorney. Exactly, he's the fucking guy. This is the first page. And this is the second. Those were presented in court yesterday. This letter was sent to Drew Misham by the client who requested that forgery. The enclosed stamp was none other than the poisoned commemorative stamp. Drew Misham drew his last breath just the other day. However, the motive for his murder was already 7 years old. 7 years old? 7 years old! Like Phantom of the Opera. Anyway. The client who requested this forgery was very cautious. He tried to erase anything, and anyone with connections to the forgery. To keep them from talking? But he made a mistake. Stamp was a picture of my favorite magician, so I kept it. Father took me when I was very young. It was a great magic show. I loved it so much. The killer's time bomb was delayed. The poisoned stamp was sealed within a glass frame, where it sat for 7 whole years. Yeah, he literally can't lose given the title. He's like he's the best guy to ever do it. Air forehead. Do you understand what you're telling us? Yeah. The one who schemed up the forged diary page was the one who poisoned the stamp. And it was Phoenix Wright who presented the forged evidence 7 years ago. Adding the two statements together, the one who schemed to kill Drew Misham was none other than Phoenix Wright. I don't think he's seeing the point. Sorry, but that's not how this is going to go down. Oh? Then how will it go down? I checked through the records on that case when I found this. 7 years ago, just before the trial began... Oh, old boy, yep. Here. What's this? I don't know, I just got it over there in the hall. They told me to give it to the old boy in the blue suit with the spiky hair. And one more thing. I'm sorry to have sprung this on you so suddenly. I received the files from your previous attorney only yesterday. I understand I'm asking the impossible of you. Yes, well, you haven't really told me what happened yet. All we did was play cards. And that was enough. Phoenix Wright was put on the case the day before the trial started. He didn't have time to request a forgery. The day before? Now here's a question. Just who was Shady Enigmar's previous defense attorney? What did you say? I said Shady Enigmar. I do enunciate that more. No, this can't all be. But it is all true. There was another man, a defense attorney with a badge on his collar. It was you, Christoph Gavin! Order! 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 What is the meaning of this, witness? I mean, defendant or former lawyer? Let me begin by denying this. Can you?
It's easy enough to look up, Mr. Gavin, and impossible to prove if you can't. Attorneys are registered with the court the day before the trial begins. In other words, no record remains in the court. How exactly did you intend to prove Phoenix Wright's claim?
That would be difficult. I'm afraid this line of inquiry won't yield.
Oh, and that must be why he killed, Zack, because Zack is the only one who could have proved him doing that.
Air forehead.
Interesting, the longest running lawsuit in the US was a fraud and inheritance case brought by Myra Clark Gaines, which lasted for 56 years! There are people who have been born and died in the span of that trial going on. How does that happen? For 56 years.
Air forehead.
Are you sure you don't have evidence? What's wrong with Prosecutor Gavin? He looks clammy.
Evidence! Evidence that shows this man, Christoph Gavin, requested that forgery 7 years ago. Clavier. Just prove it! Clear up these doubts now, or I swear I'm off this case!
You must have thought of some evidence, Apollo. Prosecutor Gavin looks like he's in physical pain.
That darkness. I have to pull that darkness out of him. And proof is the only way that I can. The only way I can. What proves Christoph Gavin's link to Drew Misham?
Thing is, running up to this record is only 21 months, slightly below 2 years. Not even 2 years is second. What the fuck? How does that happen? How many lawyers did they go through? That would fund like an entire person's career. Like you could start law, practicing it, get that case, and literally only work that case, provided they have the money for it, for your entire career. That's fucking nuts. Start when you're like 20 something and retire when you're in your 70s. 80s even maybe. You can do whatever you want.
Well, Mr. Justice, you claim Christoph Gavin requested a forgery of Drew Misham 7 years ago. Prove it.
It can be proven. You know, the WR reached the Supreme Court multiple times. I didn't even know they let you go multiple times. I thought it was only like that you appeal once and then it gets sent back if they don't take it. What the fuck?
Simply ridiculous. Why even discuss it? This evidence does not... Are you telling the truth, Apollo Justice?
I am.
Then, I say we give him the benefit of the doubt. Very well, but if you're wrong about this, be prepared for a penalty. Your Honor, you do the defense an injustice.
There is no injustice, it's just justice.
Mr. Justice is clearly passionate about his claim. Should the penalty not match his passion? I haven't given a penalty like that in a long time.
I think the last time was the second game, but I'm not sure. Which technically shouldn't be possible by any means, because the Supreme Court is the end-all be-all, like a final call situation. That must have been a fun case to judge. It must have been, and then it must have been fun to judge again.
Well, Mr. Justice?
Fine, Your Honor. All I have to prove is any kind of link. Something that ties Christoph Gavin to Drew Misham. And I have something that clearly does the job.
Very well, Mr. Justice. Present your evidence. Show us the link between our witness and Drew Misham.
Oh, it's the letter. This evidence proves there's a link.
That scrap of paper? I'm afraid I can't let you submit that.
Is there some problem?
There is.
How could you possibly have that? You couldn't. Hey, that's Daddy's handwriting.
Mr. Wright's handwriting? What's the meaning of this? Did he forge it this time? Ah, I see now. Yes, of course. What do you mean, of course? I just remembered I had a visitor yesterday. Phoenix Wright came to my cell, except I wasn't there. The longest criminal trial was 7-year-long preschool child abuse case. Oh. Also, the criminal trials are different. Oh, I know that part, yeah. It's like, you know, it's civil and criminal. I know that much, actually. But yeah. Phoenix Wright? When I returned, I saw he had something of mine in his possession. Of course, I had no intention of letting him get away with reading my private mail. Mail? You mean this letter was in your cell? No. However, it appears Mr. Wright had yet to be cured of his bad forging habit. Well, if it's a forgery, it's not a very good one. The handwriting's terrible.
This is Mr. Wright's reproduction of what was written in the real letter.
Reproduction?
When Mr. Wright visited Christoph Gavin's cell, he brought with him a small video camera.
What?
He recorded his entire conversation with you, Mr. Gavin, and the contents of your personal mail.
Regardless, this mockery of a piece of evidence will never be accepted by the court. Evidence based on a video, a man with no authority whatsoever claims he took. A man who happens to be an ex-attorney suspected of forgery? Prosecutor Gavin?
Prosecutor Gavin?
As embarrassing as this is for me to say, I'm afraid my brother is incapable of making rational judgments at the moment. Your Honor, your decision, please. The defense's claim is denied.
What?
Only actual evidence is permitted in a court of law. Please remove the defense's evidence from the record. Better luck next time, Justice. Well, we've certainly taken a detour from our cross-examination, but the defense appears to be lacking proof. I'm forced to end the cross-examination of Christoph Gavin at this point.
Apollo, do something!
I'm thinking, but without evidence, I don't have anything I can use on him.
Isn't the whole thing about this case that it's the jurist system? That we don't need evidence in order to win?
Very well. This ends the special witness's cross-examination.
The show's over, yet the crowd screams for more. Only now do I understand why.
Prosecutor Gavin?
Frankly, I'm relieved. This has been bothering me for 7 whole years, and I'm tired of the whole useful angst scene. Now's our chance. Let's clean out the family closet, eh, Christoph?
Clavier, you're spinning out of control. Calm yourself before you say something you'll regret.
Spinning out of whose control? Mine? Or yours?
Take a moment to consider everything you've built. Your reputation as a prosecutor. Your fame with the masses. You could lose it all, Clavier.
Apollo, did you see that? He's trying to press Prosecutor Gavin.
Prosecutor Gavin, try to remember. What's really important to you?
You amuse me, Forehead. I couldn't forget what's really important to me even if I tried. In fact, I haven't. Not even once. 7 years ago.
Finally. You just couldn't resist, could you, Wright?
Resist what? Presenting solid evidence? Might I request we put the current cross-examination on hold? The prosecution would like to call a new witness. Yeah, this is where he admitted the forgery. I'm familiar with the trial. I've watched the video several times. Did you find anything unnatural about it? About the way he said you just couldn't resist and stuff like that?
Unnatural?
Well, you did seem unusually well prepared. I mean, Mr. Wright had only just presented his evidence. And the next moment you call in Drew Misham. It was almost as if... What? He's the guy. Funny. Didn't even occur to me to wonder. Now that I do, I see there's only one possible explanation. Almost as if, from the very beginning, you knew Mr. Wright was going to present that evidence.
Ah!
Correct. I knew that if I applied the usual pressure, Phoenix Wright would eventually come up with that For's diary page.
Don't do this, Clavier.
I knew because you told me, Christoph.
What?
It was the night before the trial.
Clavier?
Christoph? Odd seeing you at the prosecutor's office the day before the trial. Ah, I won't be appearing in the trial, actually. Why not? I won't be facing off with you on your first trial, apparently. But in exchange, I brought information. Information? The attorney who will be there in my place tomorrow is not to be trusted. Don't even give him the benefit of your respect. Listen, I want you to call in a special witness. Then... I wondered about it at the time. How did Christoph know so much? Prosecutor Gavin... Christoph! We were supposed to face each other in that trial. A fair fight, brother to brother. I deserved that much. You let me borrow the victim's belongings. You showed me all your research on the case. The victim's belongings? Which would have included Magnafy's diary, wouldn't it?
Mr. Gavin? My, Clavier, you disappoint me. You find trees, yet miss the forest.
You're the one missing the forest, Mr. Gavin. What did you say? Not you, the other one. Oh. You can't sweep this under the rug. Not anymore. Tell me what was going on behind that trial.
Why not?
I've achieved what I came here to do.
I see no harm in a little reminiscing.
Apollo, I think we're finally going to shine a light on this black belly of this thing. I think we're finally going to shine a light on the black belly of this thing, Trucy. We've done everything we could. I hope it's enough.
7 years ago, the day before the trial,
I visited the detention center at the request of my client, Zach Gramarye.
2 cards.
1 card.
Showdown time.
Enough.
You lose, Gavin. Thanks for the work. Now go.
To be honest, I don't know what his reasons were to this day. As far as I could tell, he dismissed me as his representation because I lost in a game of poker. I can come to no other conclusion. Daddy used to say something. If you want to know a man, you have to compete. Zach wasn't watching his points or the cards. He was watching the man behind the cards. Christoph Gavin. They won by a trial by evoking the power of memory. Damn, what a powerful phenomena. I mean, it is a testimony, technically. I couldn't believe it. Phoenix Wright? A second-rate attorney who relies on luck and bluffs? And ghosts, no less? He dismissed me and went with that pitiful excuse for a man? He deserved to die for that error alone. Hold it! So the one who requested that forgery was...
Oh, I'm not admitting to anything. My point is, these two men shamed me, and I could not forgive that. Phoenix Wright and Zach Gramarye both deserved what they got. So you asked Mr. Misham to forge that evidence, so you could win. But then, when you were dismissed as Zach Gramarye's attorney, you used your forged evidence as a trap. You fed me information about the forgery you made. Then you gave your dirty evidence to him. You're free to imagine what you will. My point is that all I had imagined came to pass. Ghosts, bluffs, and locks. If Phoenix Wright is Pac-Man? That's an amazing way to describe it, actually. Yeah, Phoenix Wright is Pac-Man. He's just like, wop, 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 wop. He just eats all the pellets. That's how he wins trials. Everything went perfectly. Incredible! If I wasn't laughing, I'd weep. Prosecutor Gavin? Perfectly? You're mad, Christoph. Stop fooling yourself. What are you talking about, Clavier? Tell me, how did that trial end? Cancelled when the defendant vanished. Ah, I get it. So, Christoph, you've been living in fear for 7 years. What? You were afraid your forgery would be revealed and your reputation trashed. You couldn't leave things to chance. So you watched everyone involved with the case for 7 years. Ah. That's what that was about. In a way, honestly, this game does feel a little reminiscent of Devil May Cry 4. In the sense that, like, yeah, you know, you got Apollo, who's basically Nero, in that he's the new guy in the block, and he is, like, a big part of the plot. He is the one still doing a lot of the stuff. But then you have Phoenix, who's, like, Dante, essentially, who's essentially the one actually kind of doing things behind the scenes. More or less. And, like, facilitating the story. I felt like he was being watched every day for 7 years. He felt it too, for sure being watched, we already said that. I do like your angry voice, it has so much attitude behind it. Oh, thanks! Yeah, I try to put more, like, emotion in my voice since I was given more advice to do that. After coming into contact with me. Wait just a minute! Zach Gramarye was seen by this reporter? How was that possible? Was he alive after being gone 7 years? Finally. I knew this moment was coming. I just didn't think we'd get here so fast. Yeah, neither did I. Zach Gramarye. Gone missing for 7 years. Trucy's father. What's wrong, Apollo? Go get him. Right. Leave it to me. Allow me to refresh the court's memory. 6 months ago, Christoph Gavin was charged with murdering a mysterious traveler. I remember him quite well. J.D. Smith, was it? Poisoned in a Chinese restaurant. Well, he wasn't poisoned, he was hit with a giant bottle. Tragic. The details don't really matter right now. What matters is... What matters is the traveler was Zach Gramarye. What is it, Apollo? Huh? Keep going. We'll talk about it later. Did she already know? Yeah, Trucy, sorry, your dad is dead. Granted, he hasn't raised her for the past, like, 7 years of her life, but, you know. Someone please explain this! Mr. Justice, can you explain this? It all started 7 years ago. The great magician, Magnify Gramarye's death started it. Magnify Gramarye's death and his student, Zach Gramarye, the suspect. Whoever defended Zach in court successfully would be famous beyond belief.
Thinking that, Christoph Gavin did the unthinkable. He forged evidence.
Drew Misham?
Actually, it was his daughter, Vera, who really did the work. You took precautions when you had that forgery made, didn't you, Mr. Gavin?
Precautions?
To keep people from talking, of course.
These two know too much. Leave them alive and there'll be nothing but trouble.
That's when you planned your poisoning of the forgers. I kind of wish this game had conflicts. Oh yeah, I agree, that would kind of help with this. Yeah. The visual aspect. I think that is one of the cooler things about Danganronpa. That was when I really knew that I was going to like it. When I played the first game and they had that whole panel thing come up with the comics. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. This is great. Outro Quinine. Which, by the way, hey, speaking of Danganronpa, next week, we're getting to new material. Provided that the end trial for Trial 4 doesn't last like 3 hours, which it won't, I don't think. We will get to new Danganronpa material for me for the first time when I'm ever streaming it next week. That'll be interesting. Outro Quinine. Applied to a commemorative stamp. But luck was on Mr. Misham's side. The bomb didn't go off.
His daughter. She saved him by taking the stamp. I see.
But that wasn't the only bomb he set up. The Ariadne nail polish. Of course. You noticed something when you requested that forgery. When Vera Misham is nervous, she has a bad habit. A tendency to bite her nails.
Ah!
That nail polish was her good luck charm. You can tell they share the same formula, stylistically and story-wise, they're completely different products, which is how most inspiration should be. Exactly. Going back to the thing from the other day about clones, Danganronpa is clearly not an Ace Attorney clone, but it does have enough of the DNA to show that, like, oh, it's kind of inspired by it. But, like, yeah, exactly, I agree. This is how inspiration should be. Same thing with Umineko. Umineko has a few, not like references, but like, you can feel that the Ace Attorney in Umineko. But this is clearly, they're both separate things, ultimately. That nail polish was her good luck charm. Almost kidnapped once, yep. Remember that being said. Leave the house. She has a good luck charm because of the, yep. Protects her. I'll tell her what it was. Yeah, basically, we read all this already. It was his insurance.
Insurance?
As long as she lived quietly at home, there was no danger to her. But what if she had to go outside? If she ran into any trouble, she'd become nervous, and the nail polish would do the rest. His time bomb sat there for 7 years, and then they went off almost simultaneously. You remember what happens after the Trial 4 execution or no? Because I can't wait for you to see what that looks like. Honestly, without spoiling it for, because this is an Ace Attorney stream, I don't want to spoil it for people who have not played Danganronpa V3 yet. I remember the execution. I remember that I saw what happens after the execution. I don't remember what did happen at the end of the execution. Because obviously I remember what the execution was. But, you know, granted, it took a little jog my memory for that to work, but yeah. I don't remember what the thing was that happened at the end, because I thought the thing that happened at the end of that actually happened at the end of... Or I thought the thing that happened at the end of the third trial happened at the end of the fourth one. So I actually don't remember specifically what the thing was. Either way, we'll definitely get there next week, so, you know... Regardless of if I remember or not, we'll see. But... If you're finished, may I return to my cell now? Oh, you're going back to your cell. Just for a much longer time than expected. I'm not accustomed to standing for such long periods of time. Mr. Gavin! Okay, gotcha. Yeah. We will absolutely get back to that. Mr. Gavin! Have you heard a single thing we've said?
Oh, I listened quite closely to your little tale. Quite an entertaining piece of fiction. What? Clavier, surely you understand. We are back to the evidence. The lacking evidence. Nothing proves a link between him and the Atri Queens that took Drew Misham's life. Not always standing since you're a former lawyer? Nah, I gotcha, yeah. That's funny. I guess he was always lawyering down. No, that doesn't sound like laying shit. I fucked up. Damn it. What about the restaurant? You killed Zach Gramery to keep him from talking. I killed no man of that name. Read over the report again if you like. The victim was a traveler by the name of Shady Smith, about whom we know little else. You can't seriously think I knew he was that particular fugitive. Okay, then why did you kill him? I plead my right to remain silent. Remember, this court did not convene to put me on trial. The defendant's name is Vera Misham, suspected in the murder of her father. My trial has been finished for 6 months now. I'm afraid we have strayed considerably from our purpose here. This court concurs with the witness. It is defendant Vera Misham who is on trial here. No, but you were doing so well, Apollo. We don't even have any ghosts to help us out this time. As long as there is no evidence to support the accusation against him, this court of inquiry cannot find Vera Misham innocent. Your Honor, Phoenix Wright spent 7 years collecting this evidence. You still don't get it, do you? Let us assume there was poison in the nail polish. Who then was responsible for causing Vera Misham to bite her nails? What? It wasn't me, I know that much. The one who brought that poison to her lips was you. What? Oh, because I made her stressed out? What? What? Evidence is everything. There is nothing more. What about the jurist system? I believe this discussion has reached its conclusion. Your Honor! Mr. Justice, you have performed admirably well for a novice attorney. I respect your partner, Phoenix Wright's determination as well. However, without direct proof, you have nothing. Isn't that right, Clavier? Unfortunately, yes, Christophe. You're right. That is, you would have been right until now. Because of the jurist system. What? Did the news not reach your desk in solitary? The eyes of the nation are on this courtroom today. This is a trial case for a new judicial system. That's right! I'd totally forgotten! The jurist system! Jurists, you say? The current judicial system has been deemed too closed off from society. This new system attempts to inject the wisdom of common citizens into the law. Common citizens? Wisdom? Is this some kind of a joke? What could we possibly gain by doing this? Entrusting our judicial system to a mindless, emotional mob of irrational mouth breathers. Hate to say it, but I gotta be honest, I don't think I should be in charge of that. And if there are other people like me out there judging people, I feel as though that would be an issue. Common citizens have something called common sense. Common sense is not restricted by the law. Christophe does have a really valid point. I agree, actually, yeah, it's... I mean... I get the idea of putting the law in the people's hands, but... He has... not everyone is always, you know, qualified for that. Low-key basis as Christophe. Honestly, a little bit, yeah. Nonsense! There was only one room for two in this court. Me and the law! There's only room for two in this court. Me and the law! Keep that riffraff out! Out, I say!
They're not gonna love that. You have been voted off the island. Grab your torch. They're not in the court, actually. They're watching everything by video camera. How could you allow this? Incidentally, the one responsible for making this happen... Oh, this is gonna kill him. This is gonna shred his heart. Was Phoenix Wright?
Phoenix Wright? So everything was leading to this. Of course, right. 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 Right.
We should have hit him with the cornered theme. I feel like that hasn't played much in this game.
I won't accept. I can't accept. This is no court. Law. The law is everything. Law is absolute. You'd let ignorant swine soil your courts?
Christoph, again, they are not in the court. Christoph, it's over. Christoph have a little gay crush on his nemesis. Oh, does someone have a little gay crush on their nemesis?
Xavier!
They're not judge I've seen witnesses so much human stupidity. I agree. Yeah. The law is absolute. You can't be serious.
What?
Odd. I thought you spent your life looking for loopholes. The law isn't absolute. It's filled with contradictions.
The law is the end product of many years of history. The fruit of human knowledge. Like a gem polished to a gleam through trials and errors.
I want to say that differently.
Like a gem polished through a gleam through trials and errors. It is this fruit we receive and pass on and face in our time. And it is always changing, growing. Nurturing it is our task as human beings.
Except for you, Christoph. You aren't changing. You've stopped. You're not needed anymore. Hero's mental breakdown, honestly, so much stage aura and stage presence. Like, he generally had a meltdown. Dude blew up. His hair got all weird. He generated a wind current just to, like, move his hair into a weird way. I couldn't think of anything to say. Maybe because I still haven't seen enough. But someday, I'll know what law is. And I'll fight to change it if I have to.
I see no need to further prolong this trial. Okay, wow, I guess I'm finishing this today. Huh.
Well, we'll see. It's weird. Last couple times I've done the Ace Attorney game, especially even with the third one where I hadn't seen the ending of it, I still was able to say, like, oh, this is the finale. I really thought this was going to be a lot longer than it was. Huh. Alright, well. When Super Saiyan hair was tweaking out the several appearances he realized he lost, it's perfect for his character. Oh yeah, I agree, it's amazing.
I see no need to further prolong this trial.
As we completed the entire damn trial. Yeah, I really thought that was going to go longer. I don't know.
This began as the trial of Vera Misham, accused of murdering her father, the painter Drew Misham. However, several other incidents were reviewed and we seem to have reached a conclusion. Before this court declares a verdict, I await your decision. Jurors of the court. For the death of Drew Misham, how do you find the defendant Vera Misham? Innocent or guilty? I turn to you now to consider this matter.
It's voting time! October 9th, 12:48 p.m. Juris Chambers. This ends the trial for this case. Only the verdict remains to be decided. Defendant Vera Misham is currently in intensive care. The decision cannot be reached today. It may never be reached. The factors involved are simple. Did the defendant poison her father that night?
If so, she is guilty. Or was there another reason for Mr. Misham's death? Did another person poison him? If so, she is innocent. A panel has been provided for each of you to input your decisions. That is all. Please wait! Yes, jurist number 6? There's something in the jurist handbook here. Persons involved with the case may not be jurists. That is correct. I've looked into all your dossiers. None of you were involved in the development of the case. The development of the case? I see. Does that answer your concern? It's time for your verdicts. Make your decision in the case against Vera Misham. This wasn't even the shortest trial in the series. Case 1 of the first game was only 45 minutes. I believe that. Yeah, that one was pretty short. After 7 years, the truth is ready to be heard. Judge wisely. Judge well. Oh shit, it's Lemire. Wait, I can select guilty? Not guilty. I wonder if there's like a special alternate. Actually, wait. I'm gonna save right now. Oh, wait, no, I can't save. Oh, fuck, okay. I guess I can always go back later if I need to for the thing. Okay, so yeah, she is Apollo's mother and Trucy's mother. And so a verdict was reached on October 9th, 2:14 p.m. The first verdict under the jurist system. Innocent by unanimous decision. Technically it's not guilty, but yeah. The record will show that when the verdict was announced, special witness Christoph Gavin laughed. A laugh louder than any ever heard before or since. A laugh that echoed in the halls of justice, lingering for what seemed like hours. October 10th, 8:30 a.m., the next morning after the trial. Next, I start assuming you can tell us what happened if you hit guilty. Yeah, we'll see. In an intensive care ward, a true miracle occurred. Vera Misham opened her eyes. Oh, she also has all the stuff that Phoenix had. October 10th, 10:12 a.m., Hickfield Clinic. Vera, I'm so glad Don't cry, Apollo. I'm happy too, and proud. You did well, Apollo. But I thought about what if Vera... Hey now, don't you start crying too. Looks like a genuine super, villain. Yeah, exactly. Wasn't a major fan of him until his breakdown. Yeah, he lost his goddamn mind. Good news is he's already in prison, so they don't even need to, make another cell for him. Maybe because I like seeing Smuggle lose their shit at something. Yeah, that was nice. That was satisfying. Especially because he was so confident in it. Like, you'll never get me. Then it's like, So about that, not how we're doing things at the moment. Sorry you had to see us like this. Vera, thank you so much, Apollo. Thank you. No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have pressed you like that. If I hadn't, you never would have bitten your nails. No, I was wrong. Staying locked inside like that, clinging to my good luck charm. Vera, when I opened my eyes and saw you, I finally understood. It's important to be a part of the world. To see things with your own eyes. It looks like that poison had some effect after all. It killed off whatever was holding Vera back from life. I knew you'd pull through, Vera. I mean, that's what Apollo was fighting for the whole time. Your future. I won't forget it. Here, let me thank you. No, really, it's okay. You'll never catch me, Apollo, so yeah, about the court system is under experimental new management, and they kind of want to fuck you over, so now I have the proof I needed to get you. Pretty much, yeah. Ooh, look, it's me. I love it, thanks.
And yeah, there's Apollo. Is that me? She really captured your essence, Apollo. Well, I think so, at least. That reminds me. Do you know where the other lawyer is? The other lawyer? Oh, you mean Daddy! Except he's not a lawyer anymore. It's my fault, isn't it? I'm sorry. Oh, no, that's not what I meant! No, it's okay. I'm through looking away from the things I've done. I hope I can look him in the eyes again someday and apologize. Sure, he'd be happy to hear that. He brought all those things for me when he came to visit earlier. Oh, that's why, yeah. You mean that stack of videos? Mr. Wright finished watching them all? You know, I knew my real daddy was alive. Huh? I was there 7 years ago, remember? I was the one who helped him vanish from the courtroom. You did what? How? I'm not telling. He promised me that day he went away.
We may not meet again for some time, Trucy. But know this, I will be watching, and one day I shall return. You're the next Gramarye, after all.
Oh, Trucy. In the end, he couldn't keep that promise, could he? It's okay. Phoenix is my daddy now. Even if he can't really play the piano. That he can't. Oh, and I've got you, too. Even if your voice is kind of loud sometimes. Hello, Melon Final Boss. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? Glad I made your list. Hey, come to think of it. Where is Daddy? The one who can't play. You know, do you know Apollo? I think he said he had to meet someone. I wonder. Good, how are you? Oh, I'm doing fine. How are you? Oh, I guess you already said, yeah. Welcome to the stream. Maybe it's a new mommy. Hehe. Oh, Trucy? Yes, Vera? I was wondering, could you show him to me once more? Sir Hat, was it? Oh, he's not been knighted. Yet. Here goes. Could you imagine, like, the Queen of England knighting, Mr. Hat? For your deeds in Japanifornia. I'm messing with the greetings today. Yeah, they're not my strong suit. Objection. Not loud enough. I like Miss Magic underwear better anyway. Apollo, that's your sister's underwear. Oh, this is such a weird comment to throw in there at the end. Alright. That's Magic Hippopotamus, Apollo. So, your memory's returned. Mr. Wright, was all this a part of your plan too? I don't know what you're talking about. When I lost my memory, I was reborn as the Mirror. But you knew my true identity, did you not? That is why you chose me as one of your jurists? You're thinking into it too much. Besides, there was no guarantee that regaining your memory would make you happy. Of course it is a happy thing. So long I thought I was alone. But now I know I have children. 2 dear children. One of whom you gave up for adoption. It's not even California, it's fucking Los Japalangeles. The sisters thing makes me the previous thing like 3 cases so damn strange. Yeah, it's a little weird. I'm so proud of them. This too, I think, is thanks to you. Are you going to tell them? They do not know? Nope. They don't know their mother. They don't even know that they're siblings. I think I added the word there. They don't even know they're siblings. I will go to them when the time is right. Until then, Don't worry. I'll take care of them for you. They're very important to me, too. A little annoying at times, but still. I have to keep an eye on her, at least. Because I'm the only one who knows how she really feels on the inside. Your bracelet. Yes? I've seen a lot of mysterious things these past 7 years. But your bracelets were the strangest of all. Also, football prices in the UK are crazy. Oh, I bet, yeah. It's a really popular sport. It kind of makes sense that it's expensive, but I can agree. I can see where that would be frustrating. I remember meeting him half a year ago. Now in I remember meeting him half a year ago now in Christoph Gavin's office. And then I met you. Two fates destined to intertwine. And I was there when they crossed. I'll never forget that. Just a small thing, that bullet. Yet it tore who I was away. And it made her levitate. 10 years ago, during a simple rehearsal. $15 for a pie, $20. That's a lot. It was a miracle no one died, but I didn't survive that accident. That's why I left the troupe. My family. $1 for a pie slice? Yeah, that's crazy. Now my memory has returned. I am myself once more. For the first time, I am glad to be alive, Mr. Wright. Speaking of miracles, the miracle happened. Vera Misham regained consciousness this morning. I can only hope she's as glad as you are. It is a strange thing, fate. Sometimes a life is taken, sometimes a life is spared. You know what I've been thinking? People don't die that easily, really. As long as they've got something worth living for. And that's pretty much the end of my story. Until age 25, anyway. Anyway, I've got a long way to go, and this power mine, well, it needs some work. But there's hope now. We'd lost it, but somehow we found it again. That's why people are smiling again. Hope. Yeah, I think I'll keep at this lawyering thing for a while. Oops, training time. Gotta go. Cords of steel. Here comes justice. Objection! Ladies and gentlemen, I did not think I would finish it today. I guess there's still a little more. I'm glad you're staying with the agency, Apollo. It's like I found my long-lost big little brother. Oh, and don't you worry about that Troop Gramarye. Trucy's on the case, so she does know that they're siblings, kinda. Now that I have this, thanks to Daddy. Trucy Gramarye? Frankly, I got my doubts, but that Gramarye? Now that'll pack him in. Takeshi Yamazaki, Keisuke Yamakawa. It's not every day you get to try us at Rock's hard as in one of our gigs, yeah? That's why it's over. The Gaviners are breaking up. Well, also, your guitarist was a murderer. The news caused the tissues of supermarkets nationwide. You're the real stars now. I look forward to our next jam session. Well, that's one of those really strange pies that are like a bit big. Yeah, that's a scam. $12 for a donut is robbery. That's crazy. Well, it's finally over. You know, thinking about it, I've been a piano player longer than I was a lawyer. Now that everything's sorted and I've got time on my hands, maybe I'll take some lessons. Or maybe I'll take the bar exam. Again. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Phoenix is a lawyer in the next few games, so that's, you know, he's back to it. Tetsuya Enomoto, Norida... Yeah, I couldn't read it all. Yeah, there's a lot of people on graphics. Well, yeah, she was kind of absent in this case, wasn't she? A little bit. So I was standing around eating snack juice the other day when I got this crazy idea. What if they were golden? You could augment the crunch, or better yet, make them ding. Ah, the power of science. Although the preservatives might not be 100% safe. Not really preservatives then, are they? It's not even in the football stadium here, that's just a place that near it. Oh god! Yeah, there were gouges, like, as it was. Both players are just insane. Like, one of the opposite team players was top of the other team's players. That's kind of nuts. In an unlikely event you want to wanting Russian feast, come to the Borscht Bowl Club. The only thing cooler than restaurant is borscht. Ah, but the greater challenge being required. And come to the hideout. You know what to ask for. All go, really. They had a car programming it. $12 for a coffee in the actual stadium. That's nuts. You can buy games for $12. Like full-length games. So Kentucky Pastries is getting back to its East End roots. Spread the culture and all. Yeah, boss. Culture time. This is how we write root, capiche? Oh, we're still about giving back to the people. Yeah, boss. PR time. Right, I forgot those from his eyebrows. And this is how we write people, alright? Not that Walkie's paying any attention. Whoa, kids. They make you put your own milk in the coffee. This is what I think LEGO would be like pricing food and drinks. Pretty much, yeah. They'd even make you build the drink. So, Chinese characters and cake was fly idea like 2,000 years ago. Believe that. And you want to make it today, you gotta keep it real. You know what I'm saying? That's why I made the OG cracker. For real. I don't look like no cracker, G. What do you want to call it the OG moment? You can't just call it a cracker. Oh my god. What a choice of words. I don't know where all this talk about food is coming from. You ask me, there's only one food, and that's noodles. Noodles forever. I got a new one, too. See? This time I just put a big chunk of salt in the bowl. Why pretend? All those noodles are about the salt. Salt forever! Going to the Tease concert next month, and generally concerned for the prices, because they're a decently big K-pop group in the Western market. That's gonna be rough. Good luck. As these are close to like Stray Kids, but not as big as Stray Kids. Okay. Yeah, I hadn't heard of them. Oh, it's this guy. My exceptionally inquisitive nature has won me unequivocal adoration in my department. You see, they used to call me Wesley Stinkler and Wesley Sticky Hands. But no longer. I have a new name, one that reflects my true academic nature. Wesley Sicko reporting. Yes, curiosity is a sickness, and I am the cure. Maybe move him to the bottom of the pile. I don't really want to see him. Brandon Gay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to Brandon Gay out there. Just, I feel for the punishment you must have faced growing up over having a name like that. I don't know how to thank you for all you've done. Light has returned to my life, and with it, joy. I may have lost years, but I have gained a treasure. 2 treasures, in fact. I will think of them when I write my next song. It's the guy that calls to say so. Yeah. Mr. Sickos. Mr. Sicko. Hippopotamus. He's confident in his academic prowess. Brusher, brusher, brushel. Brusher, brusher, brushel. Brushel here, back on the beat with another interview. Eh? How do I feel about how things turned out? No scoop yet, but journalist confidence in mint condition. End quote. Gay and the Cummings are like the 2 last names you give someone. And Sexton. Executive producer Keiji Inafune. I've decided to keep painting. Originals only, of course. I suppose I'll have to see a bit of the world outside to find what to paint. But I know there are good people out there now. I've met them. The door is open. The world is waiting. Thank you. Original creator, series director, Shu Takumi. The guy for the basis of the guy in the top right photograph. Oh, that's a nice little picture to end it on. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of Ace Attorney Apollo Justice, aka Ace Attorney 4. And, that's it. Yeah, Alan Cummings, there's one, yeah. It's a nice sketch, it is. On the next game, not just yet, we're gonna do that later. Ladies and gentlemen, I have an Arrowhead, your favorite VTuber Android. I was not expecting to finish this today, but we did anyway. What am I gonna do next time instead of Ace Attorney? Well, either I'll move on to the next game or I'll figure out some little thing to do in between. Regardless, I have been Arrowhead, your favorite VTuber Android. My next stream is sometime this week. Keep an eye out for my schedule if you want to find it. And goodbye, or have a lovely morning, day, or evening. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed. And goodbye for now.